Hi PomPomFam, welcome back to the PomPomBros channel. This week's video is going to be about 5 things I wish I knew when I first started feeding raw to my dogs. Number 1, how to balance a raw diet. Many dog owners are afraid of feeding their dogs raw due to the idea of having to feed a completely balanced raw diet every meal. I wish I had known this when I first started the simple and natural way of feeding a raw balanced diet called rotational mono feeding. Balancing is actually very easy and does not require mixing countless ingredients together, nor does it require supplements and herbs to fulfill any nutritional needs. Supplements and herbs are constantly being marketed to combat any nutritional deficiency. However, no matter how natural these products are being advertised, the truth is just that they are not. Once processed, there's nothing natural or organic about them. They're man-made, processed, and are considered poisons for our dog's body. According to Neurolenz, medications are poisons. We must remember that. The stuff, food and water that's supposed to be going in the body is measured in pounds, not milligrams or even grams. These milligrams measurements are basically giving you the dosage for the amount of poison that is just enough to not shut the body down. Internally, there's very toxic waste being introduced to the body. Real nutrition comes from real foods, whole foods. There's no exact science as to how often, how much of what should be fed. Our best way of telling what dogs should eat is by observing them in their natural way of living. They usually eat whole prey, but remember, they also have to share between several other pack members, so there's really no definite way of telling how much of an animal's body parts they each eat. However, we know that it includes organs, muscle meat, tissue, fur, feathers, or scales, and bones. You can source from your local farms, online, hunters, or even just an ethnic grocery stores for these preys and their body parts. At an Asian grocery store, we were able to get organs, Cornish hens, quails, and rabbits. We sourced venison from a friend whose uncle is a hunter, so get creative. Secreting organs could be liver, kidney, brain, lungs, spleen, thymus, ovaries, and testicles. If you do not have whole prey, then make sure to include muscle meat in your dog's meat meals, as well as 2 secreting organs. You don't have to do all of the organs, but just choose about 2, and include bones as well. Your dog should be eating about 3 to 5% of his body weight on meat days. Organs should be about 5% of the meals, and bones roughly 10%. If your dog has loose stools, increase the bone content, and if it's too hard, then decrease the bone content. No supplements or herbs needed. You can also feed whole fish, which can be easily found at grocery stores, such as frozen sardines, for cheap. One important thing is while you are feeding meat, keep in mind that farm-raised meat is not the same as wild prey, as farm-raised meat contains a lot of fat due to how they're raised and what they're fed. It is best to remove skin and fat to remove toxins and prevent waste buildup in your dog's body. The second thing I wish I had known was bones are an essential part of a dog's diet. It provides calcium, which is essential for growing healthy bones, especially in young developing dogs. Often veterinarians and even experts advise against bones because they do not know enough and have heard scary stories of how they can damage a dog's body. Many vets admit that they had very little education about canine nutrition during their studies. This credit is funded by large companies who manufacture commercial dog food. Therefore, it is not trustworthy information and very biased. Cooked bones are usually the culprit due to its properties being changed once high heat is applied. They become sharp, brittle, and indigestible. However, raw bones are much softer and can easily be ripped apart. Bones also harden the stools, and hard stools pushes on the anal glands, thus expelling toxins from the body to prevent anal gland. By feeding a species-appropriate diet with bones, anal glands problems that many dog owners have should resolve itself. This was from my experience as well as many others. Bones also clean up plaque buildup on the dog's teeth and mentally stimulates him. Bones are essential and need to be included in meat days. If your dog has no teeth or cannot chew, you can grind the bones and feed them that way. The third thing I wish I knew about feeding raw is that dogs do not always eat meat every single day. Wild dogs will hunt, but sometimes are not able to catch their prey, or there isn't any available to them at that time. So they will forage for fruits and vegetable matters. Studies have shown dog stools with fruits and vegetation, so yes, they can digest these type of foods. Fruits and vegetation aids the body in detoxing and healing due to its high water content. It flushes out the deposits of toxins stored in different parts of the body, And dogs will usually eat fruits on an empty stomach, and this prevents any meetup in the digestive system with any dense meat. This likely prevented any stomach upsets and putrefaction. Due to its high water content, fruits can be fed 5 to 10% of your dog's body weight on fruit days. The percentage depends on how dense the fruits are. Fruits such as dates, bananas, and mangoes are dense, so you want to feed on the lower percentage, whereas watermelon has high water content, which you could feed up to 10% of melons per fruit day. Due to its digestive pace, please consider feeding less dense food early on in the day and high dense food later on in the day to prevent them from meeting up in the digestion process and causing digestive upsets, which may result in diarrhea. The fourth point is that dogs do not typically have 2 to 3 meals per day. Wild dogs eat sparsely and do not get kills every day. They often fast and go on with empty stomachs. Now, in our society, that may sound absurd, crazy, harmful, and even deadly. However, this is the way that dogs have evolved. They must stay lean and thin in order to hunt, to kill, to survive, to fight, and flight. Being lean and fit also allowed the dogs to focus their energy on other activities besides constantly digesting and eliminating waste. Modern domesticated dogs now have so many diseases, which can all be led to toxemia, which is an overload of toxins within the body. By removing the cause, symptoms of disease will cease once the terrain of the body is clean. Until then, the body will use channels of elimination such as skin, ears, eyes, nose, paws, etc. to release the stored waste. Fast days allows the body to rapidly detox and heal because all of its energy will be diverted inwards instead of digesting, which requires a lot of the body's resources. I now fast my dogs every 4 days. The last but one of the most important realization is that I wish I had known about rotational mono feeding, also known as RMF. RMF focuses on different rotations of feeding. They also have different protocols for different situations for dogs regarding their age and medical history and much more. All the protocols focuses on healing and is a species-appropriate diet, made easy and simple. Every dog would benefit, and the rotation may include meat days, plant fruit days, and fast days. They do not mix meat and fruits on the same day because that causes a lot of digestive issues. In fact, RMF builds up the digestive tract to be healthy and capable enough to absorb all the nutrients that enter. RMF allows the body to be highly efficient in nutrient absorption and toxin elimination. Another bonus with rotational mono feeding is that it saves a lot of money on food and vet bills. With all that said, I do hope you take your dog's health seriously. Once we make the decision of having furry companions in our lives, it is our duty to research and provide the best living home, optimal nutrition, fun, and exercise. Sometimes the best is simple and easy, not as complicated and complex as the large pet food industry makes it seem to be. The power is in your hands, not in the hands of an industry who profits when your animal is sick. If you want more information, I'll have links available in the description. PomPomBros love you. See you next week.